going up against Agent, Asper, and Floria, as well as Chanimals. These guys, their collective tournament experience is just bananas, and I love to see these guys complete, as well as Wong, Vanguards, and Smexen. All three of those players competed this year at regionals, so you know they're all very good. And as soon as these games are ready, we're gonna just jump right in. Dr. Wong, yeah, I'm a fan of his recent team. Tells UCD why no one plays Rogue. Yeah, I have not seen a whole lot of Rogues. It's very interesting. Asper is a god. Asper is pretty amazing at Moonkin, I have to say. His Moonkin abilities are top tier. You don't see many Moonkins doing quite well on the ladder besides just a handful, and Asper is definitely one of those names that you can recognize for that very reason. We're just waiting on Method Black to ready up, and we're just going to jump right into the queues, guys. I mean, obviously we're going to be expecting a turbo out of Luminosity, but what kind of turbo? Is it going to be a Discipline Priest turbo? Is it going to be a Holy Paladin turbo? I'm not all that sure, but Method Black, they have a couple compositions available to them, but which one beats turbo? I don't know. I was talking to them earlier, and they said FLS and Turbo are two compositions that we normally struggle with, so this is going to be an uphill battle for both of these teams. I can't wait to see these guys clash into one another in the arena. Best of 5 series, double elimination, and their tournament lives on the line. Who is going to go forward to face Donut? We're going to find that out very, very soon, everybody. As soon as we're ready, we're going to jump right into it. I guess I'll take this moment to shout out all the homies. So thank you guys so much. We got a $3 donation from Yes Maybe No. This production value is absolutely amazing. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, we tried very hard. Please teach all the other eSport event planners that a delay timer can actually be implemented. Big ups. Yeah, a delay timer. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that donation, man. I really appreciate that. Yes, maybe no. And all your support and all those donations that we get go directly towards future tournament prize pools. So every single cent that we get, guys, helps us grow WoW Esports. Bigger prize pools equal more hype for realsies. But yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate that. I want to give another shout out to my sponsors, because honestly, guys, we wouldn't be here without our sponsors. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and these guys give us the financial support to be able to continue to do this. But not only that, they also have pretty freaking awesome products. I'd like to talk about Jinx real quick. Jinx has a Cyber Monday sale going on tomorrow. Now, if you need to buy that present for your gamer girlfriend or for your gamer friend, that is the place to go to, for real. And in the future, we're going to be having some Jinx giveaways, so make sure to hit that follow button so you are notified when we go live, so you can catch a new t-shirt or maybe even a hoodie. It's pretty cool. And then our other sponsor, of course, is Follow Esports. These guys have been with us for so long. I love those guys over at Follow Esports, even supporting a team in the WoW esports scene. But basically what followesports.com is it is the TV guide of esports. So if you are interested in any other esport events or anything like that, you can actually check it out in the information below, and you can keep up to date with all the new events that are coming up. But here we go, everybody. It is the Grand Arena. What about my gamer boyfriend? I apologize for that. That is a that's a good point. I am sorry. It was because I was thinking of buying Hannah something. It wasn't because I am sorry. Yes, you can buy things at jinx.com, not only for your gamer boyfriend, but also for your gamer girlfriend, just so everyone's aware. But make sure to click that link below. Yeah, Cyber Monday happens once a year, guys. Check it out, 50% off. But here we go. Sorry, I had to continue the plug because I wanted to make sure that everyone knew that everyone's equal. Okay. Luminosity versus Method Black. Here we go. Major and Asper and Floria running against Smexen, Vanguards, and Vincent Wong on the Holy Paladin. This has to be a relatively quick game. I mean, both these teams can just pump out that pressure. But will they is the question, or when they? The Hand of Sacrifice coming out from Vincent Wong on the Vanguards during Majorden's cast on Polymorph is going to stop that completely. Recklessness comes out from Smexen, and it's going to force the block already from Majorden. Crazy pressure. but it's going to get cycloned off. Asperg doing a great job peeling for his mage. Oh, but here we go. Celestial alignment. Hodge on a Smexton's going to force the trinket die by the sword out of Smexton as Vincent Wong's put into that full polymorph. Now bash on the vanguards while Vincent Wong is sitting inside that. Aura Mastery. Rallying Cry coming out the last second as well. Spell Reflect from Smexton keeping his team alive, but Vincent Wong already bubbling. That's Bubble. That's Rallying Cry. That's Wings. That's a lot of buttons. Vincent Wong still sitting pretty with his trinket, but is that going to be enough for the next setup from Method Black? Majidin trading just a block throughout all of that is definitely worth it. Smexton dipping down to 40% health here. Vincent Wong not in any CC, but as I say that, the deep freeze goes out. Vanguards and the polymorph can't stop the CC from coming in, but they weren't able to follow it up. Full clone lands. Smexton saved by the light happens, but is it going to be enough? Floria keeping his team offensive with that execution sentence on the Majidin as well as the wings, but Smexton still at 34% health here. Has to line of sight for now. This double melee can't go out. They can't not be vulnerable and do damage at the same time when you're a melee against a composition like this. Vanguard's dipping down lower. Whenever's in line of sight, they are just killing the enemy target. Shamanistic Rage just instantly forced as Vincent Wong did get counterspelled there. Deep freeze onto Vincent Wong. Hodge onto Smex, and he's getting bursted down. No die by the sword, no rallying cry available to him. There's the half volley out onto Vincent Wong. Vanguard's Shamanistic Rage does fade, but Smexton is the one who's in trouble at 13% health here. Vincent Wong in the DR Cyclone. Can Smexton survive in line of sight long enough for Vincent Wong to get out of CC? The Hodge goes out as soon as he comes out trying to CC some stuff up, but Wong is going to be able to top Smexton off as he pulls back out of line of sight. But here we go. Major and Asper pushed in super duper hard. Look at the amount of denounces Floria is getting out there. It is actually insane. I really like Smexton's choice of going Fury here. I think it's his only shot, but does it even matter? The Hodge onto Smexton, the polymorph onto Vincent Wong into the deep freeze. Smexton surely will go down, and he does. Luminosity losing game number 1 against Method Black, and it looks like this Mage Boomkin Holy Paladin composition is definitely the composition to play against Turbo. Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to be jumping right into the game shortly. We're waiting on them to make their choices and whatnot. We need a composition lock-in as well as a map lock-in. If you guys aren't familiar with the format, it works like this. Blind pick into the Grand Arena, then the loser of that game then gets to choose the map of the next game, hear the composition of their opposing team, then lock in their own composition. So it takes a little bit of time to get all that information across to these teams to be able to work through that format. But we are waiting on their decisions right now, and it looks like the Turbo is going to bring it to Dalaran Sewers, their home. Turbo loves their Dalaran Sewers. It's a great map for double melee. It has line of sight for their healer, but at the same time it doesn't have a whole lot of space, so this double melee can constantly connect to their kill targets. But against Majid and Asper and Floria, I'm not sure if it's necessarily the best comp or the best map, because it can also go backwards, but I think it's the right choice. I really do. But is it even gonna matter? I'd like to see what happens if Vincent Wong hops onto a Discipline Priest. Maybe a Discipline Priest is what they need. But who knows? The first game definitely looked very convincing for Method Black, I must say. And here we go, jumping into Dalaran Sewers. Welcome everybody to Dalaran Sewers. It's Majid and Asper and Floria going up against Luminosity. Vincent Wong still sticking with that Holy Paladin, sticking with his roots. And they're running that Turbo once again, but on a map like Dalaran Sewers, they're going to be able to get a bit more pressure out with that double melee composition. But is it actually going to be enough to beat Mage Boomkin? I don't think so, guys, but anything can happen here at GPL number 1. Game's about to start. Just a few more seconds till these gates open. Here we go. That invisibility coming out from Majidin. He's going to try to get a good opener. Look at Asper pushing all the way in there. Majidin trying to get a polymorph out for free. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it. But here we go. Hodge on Asper, Stormbolt on the Floria. It looks like Luminosity wants to get real with that Recklessness. Asper getting chunked down to 50% health here. Recklessness still going strong with that Blade Storm as well. There's the bash on the Vanguards, and he's going to trinket out of it because he could not Shamanistic Rage inside of that Solar Beam. So he trinketed and used that Solar Beam. Now Majidin pushing in, trying to get some CC going, but he's getting punished. Celestial Alignment coming out from Asper is pushing Smexon's health all the way down, forcing the die by the sword, as well as that Wings execution sentence from Vincent Wong. So both teams trading some defensive cooldowns, but that Celestial Alignment is going to fall off. Love that knockdown coming out from Smexon, from Asper onto Spexon there. Full Polymorph lands onto Smexon. Hodge goes out onto Floria. These guys got to be careful being pushed in like that, but I don't think they care. They just want to do some damage. Hodge on the Vanguards. He can't heal himself through this. Vincent Wong still in the Polymorph, holding on to that trinket. Vanguard's desperately trying to heal up, but he's going to use the Ascendance to heal. I like that move, but is it going to be enough? Aura Mastery coming out from Vincent Wong as he leaves the CC. He's going to be able to free cast just fine, and Asper now forced to retreat. Execution sentence on him, but he should be a-okay from Floria. But Floria actually gets wind sheared, I believe, keeping Asper kind of low, but now they're swapping on over to him. Hodge goes out onto Floria. Smexon and Vanguards are both going to connect, but it looks like Asper was trying to push them back. Vanguard's now caught into the Hodge. Vincent Wong sees what's up. He's gonna bubble. Saved by the Light's gonna proc, but the Cyclone on the Vanguards is gonna keep him relatively low health at 47% health here. Vincent Wong finally out of CC, and Vanguard Saved by the Light procking is gonna keep him okay. Majidin, though, up close and personal, is taking a whole bunch of damage, dipping down to 50% health here. Floria 71% mana. Vincent Wong actually getting locked out. Vanguard's forced to use the Shamanistic Rage. Full Polymorph lands on the Vincent Wong, and Shamguards cannot catch a break from this damage. Shamanistic Rage still up for 6 more seconds. He gets fully Hodged up though. Vincent Wong into the Frostjaw. He gets the Dispel off before the Frostjaw happens on the Hodge though, allowing Vanguards to be able to heal himself and whatnot. Asper looks like he is the kill target for Smexon. I love how Smexon's constantly in that defensive stance. He is a vulnerable target to a swap at any moment. He knows it. Floria now no full Hodge. Asper gonna go ahead and blink away, get behind the pillar. Sheer goes out on Asper on that Cyclone, and it looks like Asper could be in a little bit of trouble here, taking so much pressure. But Wong gets locked out again. Smexon doesn't have to have the sword. He actually just came off a cooldown. Is he gonna have to use it? Wings coming out from Vincent Wong, but he's gonna get Hodged up on it. But the Stormbolt on Asper and the double fear, the triple fear from Smexon is gonna stop so much damage for just a brief period of time. But look at Asper's health. He can't hang out in this Turbo's face for too long before getting punished pretty thoroughly. Majidin forced to come back as well, but Smexon here to dunk. He's going to go ahead and Heroic Leap on both of them and force the Ice Block out from Majidin in that Hodge on Floria. I love the synergy that Luminosity is showing. Can they make something happen against this team? Stormbolt goes out onto Asper. Hand of Sacrifice being used from Floria onto Asper. Majidin dipping down to 56% health here. He's still on hypothermia. He's got to be careful. Shamanistic Rage, though, was forced out from Vanguards. Another defensive cooldown used, but it's got a relatively short cooldown. But there we go. Asper trying to get a knockoff, but Smexon's right back up there with his charge. Floria in the backfield with his wings up, getting some denounces and getting some pressure, and Vanguards knows he doesn't have the momentum. He's going to line of sight with his healer for now. Vincent Wong keeping everyone nice and pretty. Smexon in their face, catching the denounces, catching a chunk full of damage. The grounding totem coming out from Vanguards. Whoa! Smexon dipping down so low. Saved by the Light has procced, but is it enough? Looks like the Solar Beam is going to come out, but Vincent Wong has avoided it for now. Smexon should be okay, but as I say that, the Hodge on the Smexon, the Polymorph on the Vincent Wong is going to force a trinket, die by the sword from Smexon, but they're just sitting on Vanguards now. Vanguards without a Shamanistic Rage is going to have to use that Ascendance to do a whole bunch of damage to push Asper back, but also to heal himself, as that offensive cooldown also gives him the ability to a whole bunch of procs to get some heals off. Barkskin now fading for Asper. Floria positioned way far back there. Polymorph onto Vincent Wong. This is Celestial Alignment for Smexon. Vincent Wong knows the damage is coming. Smexon in defensive stance has the Hand of Sacrifice, using the Mass Spell Effect to stop some of Asper's damage, and it looks like they survive for now, but it's a long offensive cooldown. Asper dipping down to 50% health here. Floria in the Hodge. Asper blinking away. He's not going to get global. Not here, not now. Saved by the Light procking, but Floria in a full fear. Recklessness! Could be it for Asper. Floria knows it. He's going to bubble an execution sentence. Asper should be okay through it, but Luminosity getting some defensive cooldowns out of Method Black. There's the Hodge on the Smexon. Is all of it gonna matter? The Polymorph onto Vincent Wong. Smexon at 40% healthier. Mass Spell Reflect for the damage and the CC coming out for both Smexon and Vincent Wong. Execution Sentence is gonna keep him nice and pretty. Floria now with the wings up, keeping Asper alive. through all this. Aura Mastery fading for Vincent Wong, negating a whole bunch of damage at this point, but the Hodge on the Floria. Asper knows he's in trouble. He's going to blink away, but Smexon's right there. Majidin peeling for his Boomkin. He's going to go ahead and polymorph up Smexon. Deep freeze on the Vincent Wong. Full polymorph lands. Shamanistic Rage is not available for Vanguards. He's inside of Beam. Can he survive through this? Through all of that damage? He gets out and he uses a Shamanistic Rage, but looks like Vincent Wong is across the map. Majidin is desperately trying to juke both Smexon and Vincent Wong for all the kits Vincent Wong put into that Frostjaw. Full Cyclone on the Vanguards at low health. He's going to get out of that Cyclone, and looks like Vanguards is still in a lot of trouble. Saved by the light proccing, but they chewed right through it. 5% dampening. Can Vincent Wong keep up his enhancement Shaman? No Shamanistic Rage is available, and they want to go for the kill. Majidin and Asper pushing in. Vincent Wong into the deep freeze. Floria was in a Hodge there, and Asper was in a stun as well, and it looks like Vincent Wong is going to be able to survive for now. Great job from Smexon and Vincent Wong with those stuns to peel for their team while they're waiting for their defensives and waiting to get out of CC. There we go. Vanguards is getting CC'd up. Smexon getting Cyclone as well. Majidin and Asper look like they're going on defensive, CCing their whole team to wait for that setup. It looks like they're going to be hitting. Not sure. Asper is constantly just taking so much pressure and getting so low. If Smexon can just get Asper into a range of execute, he can just slam dunk him. Here we go. Smexon going to go ahead and intervene back and turtle up for now. Vincent Wong's mana might become a problem as time goes on. Asper taking a whole bunch of pressure is just going to disperse away, or I'm sorry, blink away. Full fear on the Floria. Asper knows he might be in trouble. He's desperately trying to kite these melee. Get away from me, stupid melee, is what he tells them. There's the bash on the Vanguards, and also he gets the Shamanistic Rage out of that though, and Asper's in a little bit of trouble. The charge stun on the Floria. He can't get the cast off. Saved by the light, rocking for Asper. Majidin also taking a bit of cleave damage, and Vanguards looks like he's going to be okay healing through all this damage. I believe that was Ascendance as well as Shamanistic Rage, but now Shamanistic Rage is down. Hodge goes out on a Vanguards. Vincent Wong into the Frostjaw. Saved by the light proccing again, but at 14% dampening. Bubble being forced out from Vincent Wong, but is it going to matter? 1% health. Rallying Cry comes out for Smexing. Vanguard somehow is alive. Crazy clutch plays coming out from Luminosity, but Majid and Asper and Floria might have their welcome not be so friendly anymore, as Floria is now in a bit of trouble. Recklessness from Smexon is pushing Floria back. Majidin now at 64% health, still pushed into their face. Oh, and a Master Speller Flick Polymorph goes out into Majidin, but that Celestial Alignment from Asper was just doing so much work. Vincent Wong now at 27% mana. Celestial Alignment's still up, and Smexon is taking a whole bunch of pressure. Even Denounce is coming in from Floria. He wants to get offensive. He wants to end this game. Well, Vanguard's using that Shamanistic Rage, but they're on Smexon. And Vincent Wong actually did get locked out from that beam. Die by the Sword is used by Smexon. He's taking a lot less damage right now, but how much less damage? Shamanistic Rage is going to be fading for Vanguards, and that wasn't even set up for him. He could be potentially a vulnerable target for the next setup, but will Majidin and Asper survive till then? Floria caught in that full Hodge. Barks can finally fading. Vanguard's caught into the Cyclone, and Vincent Wong's Aura Mastery fades. 21% dampening. We have 18% mana for Vincent Wong. Can he survive through all this? Majidin dipping down to 38% health, and Floria doing a great job keeping him alive, even through the Denounce debuff on himself that Vincent Wong is pumping out, stopping a lot of that healing. Hodge on the Vanguards. Polymorph on the Vincent Wong. Whole bunch of pressure falling in on the Vanguards. He has no Shaman Rage because he used it earlier in the last setup. Is that going to be his downfall? 44% healthier DR Frostjaw on the Vincent Wong, and Vanguards is just line of sighting to save his life while his warrior friend Smexon is just doing work. Majidin's health dropping down to 30% healthier. Hodge on the GCD Floria, and Shamanistic Rage comes back off cooldown, potentially saving Vanguards' life as well as that Hand of Sacrifice. Majidin catching that bop from Smexon's onslaught of damage. The full Cyclone lands from Asper onto Smexon. Both Shamanistic Rage and Hand of Sacrifice are going to go down. It looks like Luminosity wants to go in for the kill. We're at 26% dampening. How much longer can Floria heal through that, let alone Vincent Wong? Deep Freeze lands, but the Mass Spell Effect's going to prevent any polymorphs from going out. Regardless, he lands the polymorph, and he pulls back for now. He knows he was in a little bit of trouble, but both blocks are available for Majidin. That being said, Bubble coming off cooldown for Floria now, and it's looking very good for Method Black. No mana left on Vincent Wong, but his Bubble's coming back off cooldown. But can he heal through all of this setup over and over and over again? Smexon taking a bit of pressure. He's going to get cloned up at relatively low health. Looks like they might be looking for a setup here very, very shortly. Another Cyclone goes out on to Smexton. It looks like they're switching it over on to Shamguards. Shamguards does have that Shamanistic Rage available to him. There's a Hodge. He's going to Shamguards right out of that. Full Polymorph lands, and it looks like they're swapping it over on to Smexton, forcing the die by the sword. Both of these melee DPS forced to use their defensive cooldowns. Mass Spell Effect coming out, but Vincent Wong is still in that Solar Beam, and both of these DPS are in a bit of trouble, but it looks like they survived for now. Vincent Wong trying to top off his team at 32% dampening with only 10 or 15% mana. Floria, though, on the other hand, sitting pretty at 50% mana and his wings up. Looks like he wants to get in there. There's a full Hodge on the Floria, though, so Asper's got to be careful. He's got the Barkskin up. He wants to get in their face. Vanguards could definitely go down here. He has no Sham Rage for 24 seconds. Vincent Wong caught into a full Cyclone. Is this going to be it? Celestial Alignment comes up. Saved by the Light does just about nothing for Vanguards. Full Hodge lands onto him into a full Cyclone. Recklessness Bladestorm comes out from Smexton. He wants to push this Boomkin out of his box. Deep Freeze onto Vincent Wong. Can Mage it and land the Polymorph. The Aura Mastery from Floria forces that Polymorph to be landed, but it breaks regardless. Vanguard's taking a whole bunch of pressure, but this Ascendance Healing is keeping him relatively okay, but 6% mana on Vincent Wong. How much longer can he do this? Save by the Light procking on Asper. He has no Barkskin, and he's in their face. Rallying Cry is going to fade, but isn't even going to matter. Vanguard's with Shamanistic Rage at 33% healthier. Vincent Wong constantly being CC'd. He gets beamed up on it. Vanguard's Sham Rage falls. Rallying Cry is no longer available, and Vanguard's is in trouble. Aura Mastery coming out from Vincent Wong is going to allow both of them to heal, but Vincent gets stunned on it with a Deep Freeze. Can they follow it up? Vanguard's at 7% health here. He is a Live Lord. Vincent Wong desperately keeping him alive, but the lockout onto Vincent Wong actually stops him from healing, and Vanguard's trinkets out of the Cyclone, and they get the kill. Method Black taking game number 2 against Luminosity at 40% dampening, showing them even in on Dalaran Sewers, your home base, we will still take you on with our Mage Boomkin composition. Aura Mastery coming out from Vincent Wong is going to allow both of them to heal, but Vincent gets stunned on it with a Deep Freeze. Can they follow it up? Vanguard's at 7% health here. He is a Live Lord. Vincent Wong desperately keeping him alive, but the lockout onto Vincent Wong actually stops him from healing, and Vanguard's trinkets out. All right, guys, we're going to be jumping into game. Oh my goodness, I lost count. Game 3. Between these two series, we have Luminosity versus Method Black. Method Black taking the series by storm, taking it 2-0. Luminosity has quite a bit of stuff to do at this point. Taking a look at that bracket, Method Black up 2-0. They only have one more game, and Luminosity is eliminated from the tournament, and Method Black will face Donut in the lower bracket. Or can Luminosity bring it back 3-0? And we'll see a double cleave matchup, Donut versus Luminosity. It's all very possible. We've seen more than enough times that it can happen. But Method Black is just looking so very strong. Alright, the next map looks like it is going to be Ruins of Lordaeron. Is that correct? Ruins of Lordaeron is the next map choice coming out from the Turbo, and you know, a map like Ruins of Lordaeron is a lot smaller than most maps. It's even smaller than Dalaran Sewers, and this Mage Moonkin Paladin team's never going to have the opportunity to really pull back and reset up, but here we go, guys. We're jumping right into it. Can Luminosity pull it out? Ruins of Lordaeron. Welcome everybody to Ruins of Lordaeron. It's Luminosity versus Method Black, GCD, Mageddon, and Asper, and Floria, running that Mage Boomkin Holy Paladin composition that's working so well for them against Luminosity. But Luminosity is not giving up the fight just yet. They are taking it to them, and holy crow, do they almost get ka-chinks. It is crazy. Vanguards and Smexton just pumping out that pressure. And can they make it even harder for Method Black on a small map like Ruins of Lordaeron? Here we go. The gates have opened. Mageddon in that invis, looking to get a good opener off of Luminosity. Luminosity just sitting back, sitting on the tomb, making sure that they have a line of sight. Bash on the Smexton. There's the opener, and it looks like Vanguard is going to get out of that Solar Beam right away. And they're going on the Vincent Wong. They're trying to, wow! They forced the bubble and the Save by the Light instantly with that that swap up. Now Asper taking a bit of pressure. Stormbolt going out onto Asper. They took me by surprise in that setup, let alone these guys. Vanguard's forced to use that Shamanistic Rage. I guess Celestial Alignment was still up there for just a brief period of time, but now Smexen and Vanguard's are just doing some work onto Asper and Majidin, chunking him down, even lower than 50% health here. Asper landing that Cyclone onto Smexen, trying to stop some of this pressure, but they got Bubble and Shamanistic Rage in that opener, as well as Wings. This is very scary for Luminosity moving forward. There's the Hodge on the Vanguards. The Polymorph goes out onto Vincent Wong. He has that trinket available to them. Shamanist, but Vanguards looks like he's going to be A-OK, healing himself up through this. The DR Polymorph lands onto Vincent Wong, however. Majidin getting the Frostjaw as well, but it's going to get overlapped with the full Cyclone. And Vanguards actually gets locked out in his own heal, and he's in trouble. There's the I'm sorry. Vincent Wong is still getting lots of heals out. Smexen, though, he wants to turn this around. Hodge onto Floria. He's taking one out of Method Black's book with this Recklessness onto Floria. Save by the Light's going to proc, but can they force the bubble? Bubble's forced too, and both Paladins are now bubble-less. Crazy. Majidin in the background, forced to use the block as well. He's coming out of it offensively, though. I don't know if this is the right choice. There's a Stormbolt onto Asper. He's trying to get a Polymorph going out onto Vincent Wong, but the Mass Brellerfleck is going to give Majidin a full Polymorph on himself, and he wasn't able to actually land it. Line of sighting his healer, Execution Sentence being used, as well as Hand of Sacrifice, and coming out of that block offensively didn't seem to pay off for him. Smexen now pushing in. Vanguard's put into that full Polymorph. There's the Solar Beam. It's going to go ahead and beat Aura Mastery by Vincent Wong. Smexen is really far back, getting hodged up. He's forced to trinket, die by the sword being used as well, and both of these teams over aggression seems to not be working out for him. We're getting some lag spikes, guys. I hope it goes away. Sorry about that. Smexen still in a lot of trouble, dipping lower and lower. Vincent Wong forced to trinket out of that Execution Sentence with the wings coming out of Smexen, or I'm sorry, of Vincent Wong to top off Smexen, and it looks like Method Black is actually the ones who are on the back foot. Wings and Wall still up for Floria. He knows he's a vulnerable target to be swapped to. All he has left is those bops, and that's not going to do a whole lot against a Druid or a Shaman that's going to be purging the living heck out of him. I mean, look at